Do you want to add 10 yards to your golf swing? Then watch the rest of this video. Up. You guys see the little homie Sheldon. Today I'm taking a lesson with a pro golfer. His name is Mark Anguiano. I believe he played on the Korn Ferry tour. He might still be playing on the tour. Obviously he has the credentials to teach me. His philosophy behind the golf swing is something that I really appreciate, which is why I wanted to go take a lesson with him. He believes that you shouldn't be making certain swing changes in order to make your swing look a certain way. His philosophy is more based on what's the best for your body. You'll hear him say it a couple times throughout the lesson. He's asking, how can I unlock your swing, not how can I change your swing. You guys can see that he starts off by measuring a couple things, right? He first measures the wingspan, then he has me do a little test where he makes you move in the most natural way to you. He's asking me to fold my arm a certain way that feels the most natural, to where I don't move my shoulders. And clearly the front of my hand is facing kind of downward. It kind of shows him how I should be gripping the club, the way I should be swinging the club because of the mobility that my body has naturally. Then this last test he does, he's testing the way that our hips move. You can see that he says here that he's looking at how I load into that hip, the way that I move, if I'm centered in the middle of my body when I turn, or if it's more out to the hind leg, or if it's more out to the front leg. And you hear us say here that I'm more to the center, maybe slightly towards the front leg. Naturally, my body should be wanting to stack. And then this is where I turn the mics on again, so you guys will hear the process from here. But if you guys are struggling, hopefully this will help you guys. Just help me gain some speed within my swing. Like he said, he unlocked something within my swing, and I think you guys will really appreciate it. His links will be down in the description if you guys want to follow him. Maybe even get a lesson from him when he's available, but they'll be down there. So go check it out. Now here's the lesson. Enjoy. Just a quick reminder to subscribe. We're trying to get to 1,000 subscribers, so go ahead and subscribe. Thank you.
Nothing wrong with being steep.
Yeah.
You know who's steep?
Tiger.
Scotty Scheffler and Tiger was. Two of the best iron players. Jack Nicklaus, same thing. So it's not about how it looks. We got to make sure the club's working for you. So here's what we'll do. Let me grab a club real quick. Let's make some practice swings with the right hand only. So a lot of today is all about the grip. So I want to make sure you're feeling good with your grip. The grip, the right hand grip is your club face. Right. In golf. And the club face is your right hand. So when we go back to throwing, you got to think of the club as an extension of your right arm. You gotta make sure that's screwed on correctly, the right hand onto the grip. Does that make sense? Because I want you to fully release that club head, and it's gonna go high, far, and straight. Not we're trying to make it go straight. Right. So let's do this. This is like a little trial and error. Just with your right hand, go ahead and make some swings. I'm just letting the club swing. I'm not doing anything. Does that make sense? And I go continuous. And I'll have you just keep going. It's almost like if I'm gonna throw it, right? That's kind of the motion. So as you're doing this, how does that club face feel to you? Pretty stable, pretty good, pretty square, or is it opening?
It feels a little open.
If it feels like it's twisting a lot, or is it pretty stable?
Somewhere in between, I think.
Okay, so let's do this. Go ahead and stop. Go ahead and, wherever your grip was normally, rotate it more under, and let's do the same thing. So what I mean, yeah. So just with your right hand, take your left hand off. So where do you normally hold it? Just with your right?
Here.
Okay. So let's try this way first. So we're going to have you go a little bit weaker. Go continuous and try to understand what that does for your club face. Better, worse? Is it more stable, less stable?
I think it's more stable.
Okay. Is it opening more, closing more, or does it just feel more square?
More square.
Okay. Now let's try
the other way.
Yes, we call this under. So it'd be more in the palm.
Yeah, I'm not a fan.
Yeah, it looks right away like not natural. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. It's hard for you to, because here's the thing. I think you have a good understanding of the face. What you just did there, you were slowing down to make sure the face was square. So I always tell people this: imagine throwing a fastball with a curveball grip. What are you gonna do?
Just shut down.
Yeah. So here's the thing. What ends up happening is if you're trying to throw it to someone, you're gonna slow down to make sure it goes straight because you know you're not holding it right. Yeah. Or you're just like, screw it, I'm gonna let it go, throw it hard.
And it's gonna be a cutter.
But yeah, you're not really gonna know where it goes. Yeah. Which is the problem with most golfers. They have that poor curveball grip when they're trying to throw a fastball. Yeah. My goal with you today is to make sure we have your fastball grip on there, which is in your right hand. This is gonna really feel like a light bulb moment for you. Because you said it yourself, we weakened it and it felt better. The reason that is because when I screened you like this, your elbow like to work like this, and look where your palm's facing.
Right.
Down.
So
You showed me how you like to move
right?
naturally. There's different ways people do everything.
Right.
So it's just a matter of, I think we're starting to figure out what's going to be good for your right hand to be on the club, so you can sling it.
Right.
Okay, I have a question for you. When you're throwing a baseball somewhere that you're trying to throw fast, maybe to first base, what position did you play when you played?
Short catcher.
Okay, so when you're a catcher or let's say shortstop, and you're throwing hard to first, are you tense?
No. It's all smooth.
You got to be loose.
Yeah.
Right. So in golf, if we're tense in our joints, which is like the wrist, elbow, shoulder, well, you're tightening up, but you're actually slowing yourself down, and you actually lose control. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So this is the hard part in golf.
Yeah.
You have to give up control.
See, I've always
to
struggled
gain
that
control.
part. I've always.
Well, here's the
struggled
thing.
with.
I think maybe your grip was a little off, and you're athletic, and you're just slowing down a little bit because you want to make it go straight. So you got to be super more relaxed in the joints. Okay. Yes, like you're ready to throw it. Relax. So when you throw a baseball, is your arm straight back here or is it folded?
It's folded.
Absolutely. You want this club to lay here. Yes. Good. See how much control you've given up in a way? Do you still feel like you can throw the club really far from there?
Yeah.
Give up the control up top. Yeah. There you go. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
Look how much better it is already. So as you're doing this, I want you to really trust yourself and allow it to happen, right? That's the hard part here, okay? So what's your miss? Like, what's your bad miss when you go play? You're scared of, or
A hook.
Okay, so that's typically what happens with a good player. They fight a hook. Let's talk about it for a second. Because say you're here, right? Your grip was here, and I'm changing it to here. So this is stronger than this. So that means your face will be easier to close when your hand's stronger. Say you really wanted to let one go, and it hooked. Probably might have been from your grip being too strong. Does that make sense? You had that curveball grip a little bit.
Yeah.
So maybe if you weakened it and did the same full release, it's not going to hook.
Yeah.
It's going to feel like a hook right now to you. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
It's actually going to go straight. But that's speed. That's what we want. Let it.
So does most of the speed come from, like, obviously it's like legs and
Hands.
shit, but like throwing the club also?
Look at this. Watch this. I'm going to go up here and do it in the video. Okay. I'm just going to use my wrists. Okay. This one, I'm going to use my body.
Yeah.
How much more did the club travel?
Yeah.
So that's free power.
Right.
So that's the tough part about golf. It's so counterintuitive.
I went through phases of like a strong grip, a neutral grip, weak grip,
yeah.
and it's just not knowing everything. You kind of, get certain misses, and you're like, all right, let me strengthen it up, or whatever the case may be. Like I've done the weak grip before, and it's felt good, and then I started missing. I was probably missing right, or because I'm trying to throw the club, and then it starts turning into a hook because I'm throwing it too early.
Sure. Which
different things that come up.
So if you maintain softness throughout your motion, just like throwing, right? What happens when you throw? You let this arm fold, and then there's creating whip because you're lagging it, and then you throw.
Yeah.
See how it's using the wrist and your elbow and your shoulder, right?
Yeah.
Instead of trying to hold the face. That's it. That's the instant death move in golf.
I see everything you're saying, right? Like, I know that it comes with like loading and like letting it be free and just like whipping it at the end, kind of.
We're trying to unlock your swing, not put you in positions. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
The best golfers never cared about their positions. Maybe they've checked their setup, right, and maybe a couple positions that they thought were important. But in the end of the day, they're making the motion that's most natural to them in order to put speed here because their grips are good. That's all it is. And then it's just learning how to hit how far, and then maybe learning how to curve it.
Right.
That's how you play golf. That's it. There's all the other stuff's kind of BS in my opinion. There had to have been someone that started without an instructor that made it so far, and it's all proven. So you tell me, what do we do when we say I'm standing on the side like this and want to throw that way? Do I go like this?
No.
Or do I go
Switch over to that leg,
before I throw?
More of this motion.
Yes. Ah, there we go. So you got to throw it.
That one was like tense here.
Yes, you got to throw it earlier. So Go like this. Show me how you shoot a basketball. Yeah.
Wow.
Everyone does it perfectly, right?
Yeah.
What does that wrist do?
Flick.
Yes, absolutely. So when you have your hand on the grip, you have to go like this to throw it. Yes, good. So you have to feel that
At the bottom?
at the bottom. Look at the face.
Right.
Square. It's not this. That's not throwing. That's that's holding on,
Yeah.
right? And this is not using your wrist.
Right.
Right. That's not using your wrist.
It's just
This
turning,
is using your wrist.
Uh-huh.
Yes. Remember, our right hand is our genius, dude, in sports, let alone golf. Okay. If you're restricting your right hand, that's like you coming to a baseball coach and being like, "Oh, I just can't throw." I'm just like, and then he realizes you were just like gripping it too hard.
Ball, yeah.
It's exactly what this is.
I see how that
There you go.
can have an effect.
Because
Like even shooting a basketball, you're not sitting here like
yes.
doing this. It's
And what ends up happening when you start hitting it bad? What do you think starts happening for a typical, let's say, beginner or player who's trying to learn on their own? They tend to try harder.
definitely.
What happens when you try harder in golf?
Make it worse.
Yes.
Yeah.
Everyone knows that answer because it's so obvious,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
The less effort, the better. To me, this is like the best drill in the world for golf is one-arm drills with your trail hand. It shows so much. Like, I think for you, you've learned that you can get in your left foot earlier in the backswing right away because you were immediately hitting behind, and that's you not getting your low point forward enough. So go ahead and go to the top. Okay, from here, look at this extension, right? Just like shooting, you can throw that way. See that?
Yeah.
You don't have to wait till it's like down at the bottom, okay? Ah, there we go. Yes, that was your best one.
Yeah.
Look how far that went. You think 100 yards maybe?
Probably.
With one hand?
Yeah.
So think about what just happened for a second. How easy did that feel?
Super. Like not even trying, bro.
And look how solidly struck and straight. And the flight was good. Okay. So anytime you do this drill, or in general you hit it to the right, think about when you throw a ball and you don't release at the right time. You go,
Yeah.
goes to the right every time. So that's you just holding on. So let's see what happens when you give up all control of effort, okay? Yes.
That's smooth right there.
Yeah. Let's move on, because what I like to do here is progress from this. So we'll move on. There's 2 more progression stages for this. And what we'll do here is go ahead and now grip with both hands. So now since your right hand's good, we're gonna put both hands on. So anytime for you when you grip the club, always start with your right first. Because if you start with your left and the club's way to your left side and then you grip, my hand tends to be too strong. You gotta make sure you grip with your right hand first. With your grip normal now, both hands, put your feet touching together like this, and we're not gonna use our body to turn or anything right now. We're just gonna have our hands and arms swing to the right and then throw it past my left. We're gonna go continuous swings, keeping the feet just still. We're gonna hit like this, okay? And the goal is, I'll hit one real quick. The goal is with our feet together, to finish with our feet together. I don't want us to move around, okay? Throw the club past our left side here, okay? And you're supposed to let this arm, if you try to keep in front of you, that's tension. Let the elbow go where it wants. Okay. So do that again.
That's like the opposite of what you hear, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, so if it feels less tension if you let it go behind you.
Okay.
Yeah, feel like there's no tension in your arms and they're just swinging. See how this arm wants to come off now behind you? That's good. Nothing wrong with that. Okay. Because that's how you naturally move. You know who else moves like that in their golf swing? Scotty Scheffler and Jack Nicklaus.
Yeah.
They have this look. Well, that's because their right hand's weak on the club. Players that don't have a weak hand, they're strong. You'll notice they go, this tucks. That's not your style. Yeah. For you, that opens the face. Right. Okay, that's a face opener. And it's a shallower, which for you, we now know you have limited shallowing mobility in this arm. We don't necessarily want that, right? So we're trying to get this arm to load, right? We're trying to make it fold so we can throw. Right. That's all that matters. Your face will come back square. So do that one more time. So, because watch when I do this. Look where my elbows go. I'm the same as you with my arms. Yeah, see how it goes behind me? Yeah. It feels good for me to just do that. It's easier. Yeah. Okay. So I want you to feel this in your golf swing. See how your hands pass you and then they pass you on this side? Mm-hmm. Now let's try it with the club. Okay. Pretty good. So remember, your grip's good now. Don't ever worry about the face being open or shut. Better. Okay, if you're chunking it, this.
Yeah, I definitely felt this.
Or when you hit and finish, make sure you stand like, I'll do it here. When you hit and finish, you stand like with your chest this way instead of, right. See how it points up? That's kind of hanging back. Okay? Yeah. You're doing this fine, but I think you can let the club pass you more. See how, look at my right arm, see how it comes off of me more? So go ahead and try that. Ooh, that was more speed. Yeah. Let the elbow go where it needs to, okay? Don't restrict it. So I think you could, how far do you usually hit?
Like 160-ish.
Okay, you should be able to hit these with your feet together almost 150. Watch, this is a 9. I usually hit this like 150. Look how long my swing was. Did you see that?
Yeah.
When you go to the top, let your right elbow go fly.
Further back. Okay.
Let it fly behind you. Yeah, that should feel better on your arm. It's better actually. Because what I've been seeing right now is you're doing it very, very late, and it's just like
I see that
gets
in my
your
swing
timing
too.
off.
Yeah.
You don't do it late. Just do it early.
Just let it happen.
Yeah, that's you loading your arm, like you're ready to throw. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
When you finish your swing, just stand tall.
Mm-hmm.
Make sure you're 5'9" in your finish. It's when I finish my swing and I want to look, I have to stay balanced. We're trying to get our hands past our shoulder. When you come down, this doesn't do anything. It's just along for the ride. There. And you throw. Yeah. Okay. That was different. Okay, last thing I want you to maybe think about. Go ahead and from there, stretch your right hand out like this. Bring your fingers. Where is your palm facing? Straight. Needs to be that way. See how your elbow comes off when you do that? The elbow's gonna follow your hand. Okay. See how there's tension there? Relax. There you go. Don't have the elbow on your body at all.
Okay.
You're supposed to have it off your body like this. Watch. If you go like this, that's tension. You're putting it there, and we don't want that.
Okay.
Okay. Let the elbow hang off your body. Disconnected.
I feel more free though.
Yeah. Because I think what's happening the last 10 minutes, it's wanting to be put there. I want it to be so loosey-goosey, it's going to actually be off your body. Okay. How much low-hanging fruit? You know what I'm saying? This is not like we're changing your swing. So I think that unlocked your swing more. You can tell right away.
Yeah, it feels less force. Like that connection does add tension. That connection when I'm here, like trying to remain connected.
So here's the problem with that word that coaches use. It sounds nice, like, oh, I want to be connected to the club. Yeah. But it's actually slowing you down and making it harder. So leave it off your body in your setup. There you go. Keep
so all that steep and shallow shit doesn't really matter. Like, it's just on you.
Well, it depends on the person.
Yeah.
The elbow, I mean, off, and keep it off. Okay. Nothing here. Nothing here with your elbow.
And if I were like to start hooking the ball from this position, because what exactly would I be looking for?
Well, do you want to hook it? That's not obviously the intention. If you want to hook it, then I can show you how to hook it with this grip, right?
Oh, no, I just mean like, because sometimes you develop a miss.
Yeah.
That you're not.
Absolutely.
Necessarily wanting.
So here's the thing. That's a good question. If you are hooking it with your grip weaker, it's either two things. Your body's just completely stalled during the swing, which means you go like this. Right? Yeah. Or instead of like coming through together, like throwing, right? See how your body opens up when you throw? Or you're just too tight somewhere, and then it can mess with you, gripping, pulling the handle, and then you mishit it, right? So that's a trickle-down effect.
Yeah, because I feel like I've had a miss before, like where I'm hooking it, and obviously it's like the hand probably doing this more than this.
Yeah. Remember, we don't want to add to this.
Yeah.
This is throwing and using our wrists.
Right.
You'd be surprised when you feel like you're throwing it earlier and you see it not go left.
Yeah.
That's when you're like close or like right there. You know what I'm saying? 'Cause I want you to take the left side out of play.
Mm-hmm.
Like I want you to go out there eventually, hopefully soon, when you trust this stuff,
Mm-hmm.
and aim up the left side of every hole, and know you're not hitting it left of that.
Would you say a cut is better to hit from this position?
I would say so. But here's the thing. I don't want you to try to hit a certain shot, especially when you're working on this stuff.
Yeah.
Let's see what happens to the ball
Mm-hmm.
when we allow things to just happen. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
I don't want you to try to your normal shot might be like a 2-yard draw.
Mm-hmm.
If you just make it, I call it like a nothing swing, your hand.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like tossing.
Mm-hmm.
So to me, putting is like rolling a ball or
Yeah.
tossing a ball.
Yeah, chipping is always.
Chipping is more so.
The
but a little
thought that's
bit
always
longer.
been in my head is like somebody told me, like let's say you're at short and you get a ground ball and you're trying to toss it to the second baseman.
Yeah,
Like turn it over
that's
play.
exactly.
It's like how hard are you gonna toss it?
And where does your weight go immediately?
Yeah.
Arnold Palmer said this quote. It's like golf is deceptively simple and endlessly complicated at the same time.
Fine.
I mean, did you see the distance that you were hitting those
Yeah.
with just your feet together?
Yeah.
So that's what I'm trying to get you guys to realize is like, look, you have the power. Now imagine hitting some with your feet being worked.
Involved.
Because this is our engine from our core down to our legs. We're gonna do this last drill. We're gonna have our feet really closed. So ball position is gonna be like normal. We're just changing our stance. Does that make sense? So everything up here is the same. So see how my feet are closed?
Yeah.
From here, we're just gonna try and hit. And it's like finish the swing. So if I'm standing like this, just go like this. So see how my body didn't change? It's just my feet are changing. There you go. So it gets your weight on your left.
Okay. Okay.
Just make a normal swing. This is a great drill for you, and you can vary. This is a variation of this drill. What I mean by that is, you can play like this. Number one, with the closed stance and everything's. So what ends up happening visually is this is closed, and everything else is open to your stance. But in reality, you're just closing your feet.
Yeah.
Or you can also do this drill like this. There's like no weight on my
1 foot.
Yeah, and you just move the ball a little bit more forward. Because watch what happens to my body. I'm gonna go like this. See how it shifts more left? You just move ball position accordingly. Same thing.
I get the idea.
So what ends up happening is when you do this drill, especially with your weak grip, when you preset your right foot like this, look at all this space.
Right.
Gives that room for the arms to do its thing. And then you can really, you don't have to come back down this way. You just, once you have the room, now you can go and hit it.
Right.
It's so good. And what these 2 drills before that we just did, the unlocking of your arms and stuff, you need to be doing that for the rest of your life.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that feels a lot more free, like
Cause
before it was forced.
Because think about these guys that have played on tour or whatever. Maybe you know someone that from Chester or wherever that has been playing for 50 years and they're good and they hit it maybe far and you're like, how the heck are they doing that? Well, it's because they understand the swing enough to where they don't have to do much anymore. They allow the swing to give them the power where it's effortless. There's free power in the swing that many people don't realize, right? And that's what we're trying to do. You get in your own way as a golfer and you slow down. So
Yeah.
you need to be.
Yeah.
You need to have no tension for the rest of your life as a golfer, is what I'm saying, because we're throwing, right?
Yeah. Whenever I would happen to switch over to like a weak grip, I always felt like I was striking it the best, but then I would develop some type of miss, and I'm like, okay, that's
Well, it was good. You know what was good about that? That's you being athletic and trying to just figure it out.
Yeah.
You were going the right direction with that.
Like, what's like a trick you use for like making sure you're square, I guess.
So like
Is
aiming.
what I'm doing fine, like here, and then grip it?
Yes, absolutely. You want to set the club first. And then it's almost like this is like a statue, the club, and then you build your stance around that club. Yeah. And then you're aimed properly, okay? pretty pure right there.
Yeah. Oh, that was struck.
That was munched.
Hella good.
Let's just give up control, okay? Let's just see what happens.
Okay.
Who cares where it goes?
Oh shit. And I struggle with height too. That bitch is getting up there.
So when you weaken your grip, your right hand, you technically add loft. And this is what's hard about golf, knowing what happened. The goal is to understand why the shot didn't go as planned. Because, look, none of us hit a perfect shot every time. We all miss, you know. The players that are the best understand what went wrong.
Immediately.
Immediately.
A little chunky, but that's fine.
This is 5-iron?
Yeah.
Okay,
So this is where I start to struggle a little bit with
okay.
these.
So what's your favorite iron in the bag to hit?
Maybe 8, 9.
Okay. So here's the secret to long irons. You're gonna laugh. You have to swing them like your 9-iron or 8-iron.
Okay.
Just pretend, like literally tell yourself, pretend it's your 8-iron in your hand.
Okay.
Because what ends up happening is we think we have to try harder when it's a longer club.
See, when the longer the club gets, the more hooky I start to get, and I'm not sure exactly.
Just make sure, you know, your setup's the same here. You're obviously going to stand further from it just because the club's longer, but the setup is the same. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So that's why I like the swing like your 8-iron. Better?
Yeah. Get after one here.
Just pretend it's
Smoothly.
your,
though,
yeah, just
you know?
pretend. Yes, you got to almost try less if you're trying to hit it harder. Okay.
A little fat.
So watch what happens if I'm going to add speed and don't hit the ground. Because you're just giving your club more space to not hit the ground in a way. Does that make sense?
Wow. Yeah.
And you actually will push with your legs when you do that. So it's actually going to add more speed.
Okay. Like with the driver, I hit it decently far, like farther than the average person.
For sure.
Like
you do.
nothing compared to.
I can tell. Well, you have the potential of doing that.
I agree.
You know what I'm saying?
I be telling her all the time.
Well, that's what the whole point of today is in a way, you know. So when I'm hitting high, it's like when you throw high, right? What do you do when you throw a ball high? See how you go? You lower, and then you push. It's the same thing in the swing. The leg, it like bends and then straightens. Speed equals spin.
Right. That's what I was thinking.
Which goes higher. Yeah. Do you feel that extension now on your left side?
Yeah.
So when you come down, you don't stay down. See how this left side has to come up and come around? And try to go faster. Faster. Faster, faster. Earlier. Good. Good. Remember, I want you to trick your mind as much as possible in a way because it gets you out of your own way.
Yeah.
Pretend like it's 8-iron in your hand.
Yeah.
Swinging fast. You're going to hit it to the moon. Better. Coming around.
What'd you say about like the hooky part of it? Because this is what I start to feel when I hit it bad. Like, you said that's stalling, right?
Okay.
Or
So
it could be stalling.
if my right hand isn't weak enough and I release, see how the face gets jammed down? If I did the same swing with my hand weaker, it's going to feel more in the fingers when I hold it when it's weaker. And I do the same swing. Look, the face ain't jammed.
Right.
That's why if you feel like this is the easiest thing to do and you're jammed, your right hand's not weak enough on the grip.
Okay.
Okay? So anytime you try and forward shaft lean and you don't open so what happens if you're trying to hit it straight and you forward shaft lean, you have to open.
Right.
If you don't open, it's closed.
Yeah.
Scotty Scheffler, Impact. Okay, think about this. He's the number one iron player, number one player in the world. He's this Impact. It's not, but that's right for you and him. Does that make sense? It's not, maybe not for the next guy.
Oh And that was a cut too.
Life lives at the edge of your comfort zone. You know what they say.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's a good thing, in my opinion. And then from there, we'll just let me know how you keep going. Because remember, we're trying to make sure you're freed up.
Right.
We want you to play offense out there.
Yeah.
That's all. Other than that, once you have your grip down, you can go learn how to play golf the right way, you know? Because
I like that term, play offense.
you got to play offense out there,
I
right?
feel like it's been the opposite.
Sure. Anytime we're playing defense, because think about it. This is like just generalization, but if I'm a pro and I'm going to go play a tournament and there's a cut, there's 100 other guys tell you that are playing offense already, and you're not feeling it. That's extreme, but that happens at any level, you know? Yeah. Nice job, dude.
For sure, man. Thank you.
Good stuff.
Mark Anguiano, am I saying that right?
Yes.
Mark Anguiano on Instagram.
Yes,
I'll
sir.
tag him and do whatever else.
Awesome.
Thank you, man.
Yeah,
Appreciate
man.
it.